you're saying that they had what?
A major security leak by senior U.S. government officials has triggered bipartisan anger. U.S. war plans against Yemen's Iran-aligned Houthis were posted in a Signal messaging group chat that included Vice President J.D. Vance, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
Nobody was texting war plans.
And a journalist, mistakenly included. Atlantic editor-in-chief Jeffrey Goldberg published the messages he had received in the encrypted Houthi PC small group chat group. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and CIA Director John Ratcliffe were also group members. Hours before the U.S. launched large-scale military strikes against Yemen's Houthis, Hegseth posted key operational details to the group. Opposition lawmakers call the blunder a national security breach.
This is one of the most stunning breaches of military intelligence I have read about in a very, very long time.
Posts critical of Europe by Vance and others are also likely to worry European leaders. Under U.S. law, it can be a crime to mishandle, misuse, or abuse classified information. The White House confirmed the chat group's authenticity.
I know nothing about it.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. So, I guess you got two options the way to look at this right now. You have the incompetence option, or you have this is them messing with the mainstream media. This is them psyoping the mainstream media. Because the conversation is so scripted. You know, like, you would not have a like you could not talk about this and it get done just like that. Like, you know how many things of clearance you have to get through in order to, like, mobilize and get stuff done like this? It's like, you're just, I mean, I guess the assumption is, yeah, we just have airplanes ready to go to bomb Yemen right now. It's like, they're just fueled up and ready to go. They're just waiting for the word, you know? Like, that's what's so strange about this entire thing. It seems so scripted. Like, the stuff that J.D. Vance says. Like, I mean, all it does is make J.D. Vance look good. It's like they're prepping J.D. Vance for the presidency next term. Because if you read what J.D. Vance says, it's like, it's making him look really good. So, again, this might be them psyoping the, you know, people into going, well, at least J.D. Vance is rational, you know, wow. Like, I don't know, guys. I mean, like, this seems, it's just way too convenient. You know, it's like, what are the odds that they'd be like, we're going to let this one journalist from the Atlantic.
He was a known anti-Trumper from day one.
We're going to get him in this text group. You think that's like, oh, this is, like, let's get this guy in, you know? You don't think that they have, you know, if there was a guy with a similar name, you don't think it'd be like, that's obviously a Atlanta, Georgia zip code, you know, or excuse me, area code. So it's just so strange. And again, that's why all of this just seems too convenient, you know, and maybe my pro-Trump stance makes me more likely to believe that they're psyoping and messing with the media. But I don't know, like, that conversation just seemed too polished, too clean, it seemed more like a conversation between, like, ChatGPT. Like, what would a conversation between a private chat group between the president, vice president, and all these other people, what would that look like? And it's like, it's just so proper. You know, it's like, I mean, like, we've texted people before. You know, it's like, get wrecked, F you, you know, stuff like that. It's like, so, I mean, you'd be sitting there going, sorry, that sounds retarded. I'm not going to do that. You know, it'd be very informal. So I don't know. I mean, I mean, I don't know. Maybe, I guess I'm pretty formal when I send my text messages to my chain of command. But that's because I'm adherent to the chain of command. You know, it's like J.D. Vance and Hegseth and all these. They're less. They're not as adherent to the chain of command. They're like peers. You know what I mean? So it's like, it wouldn't be like, it'd be more along this, hey, JD, what's up, man? You know, it'd be like that. It wouldn't, like, I'm not going to send a text message to my commander and be like, yo, bro, what's going on? You know, it's like, hey, sir, this is what I need, or this is what, do you need something from me, sir? You know, it'd be more like that. So being in the military and being, you know, understanding how, humans think, talk, and interact, you know, I'm kind of sitting here wondering, it's like, this does not seem natural, you know? So I don't know. You got anything you want to add on to that, Chad? Or, I mean, am I just kind of spitballing here?
Not particularly. that's what everyone says. Like what you said is what the people on the right are saying. Like this is too formal. Some of these conversations are too formal
It
for a
seemed
signal.
scripted. Yeah.
So very very odd
Mm-hmm.
that this is happening. If this is the case that this is a big blunder. I mean, yeah, wow. I mean, somebody shares the same name as somebody else, in the chat group, and they confused it. It happens. Stuff like that happens. But
Yeah.
again, it's very odd that it just so happens to be this huge Atlantic. The guy who the guy who runs the freaking Atlantic, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, but this goes to show you is that he kind of thought this was normal. The way that he kind of like talks about how he got put into this group, which tells you that this is probably how the CIA, the FBI, and other informants like share information with the press.
Yeah.
And they go, "This is a source I have from inside the White House." And it's like, yeah, they just get mysteriously added to a chat group that's saying things that whatever happens to be, that they're looking for or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if all this does is it exposes the embeddedness of the media and the government. It's like, why wouldn't he have like said, like, I mean, if he was a good person, he'd have been like, hey, I don't think I'm supposed to be in this group chat. But no, it's like he's sitting there. It's like he's a typical media, what do you call it, vulture.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna get some dirt. I can't wait. And then and then he goes, I didn't post anything that would have been of national security threat. It's like, oh, okay, you don't think a private conversation between the president and the
Secretary of Defense and the Vice President
is not national security level stuff? I mean, like I said, I mean that when this first dropped, they're talking like this guy might actually end up going to jail because of him posting this. But it's like the left would be like, no, he's a whistleblower. He's a hero. So again, this is it's so dumb. It's like again, it's all party politics. It's like a buddy of mine posted a thing. A fraternity brother. You probably know who it is. But he posted a thing yesterday that it said, what's the word? It was a lawyers. Well, it's like he posted a thing saying lawyers won't defend people who are being charged by the Trump administration. He goes, "This is fascism," and I'm like, and I almost posted, but I was like, it's not worth the fight. It's because I mean, I'm just arguing to a wall. But I was gonna post, oh, you mean like whenever Trump's lawyers were all prosecuted for defending him and doing their jobs?
Yeah.
It'd be like
lawyers getting prosecuted for the exact same crime that they're defending their client.
Yeah, and I was gonna be like, so it only matters when the other side does it to you. Whenever it's happening to people like that you don't like, it's fine. So that's what I'm talking about here. It's like they have no scruples. It's like it's only partisan politics. It doesn't like when it happens if what you disapprove of happens to somebody you don't like, that's where it tests your character. It's like no, that shouldn't happen to him. But if it happens to people you don't like, and you're like, yes, that's awesome, I can't wait till he goes to jail, and it happens to people you do like, and then it bothers you, that's how you know that you're a political partisan and you're a piece of crap.
That's funny.
What? yeah. Salty memes posted that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's funny.
What do you mean the boys' group chat got leaked to the news?
So what's that? That's that old saying like, me and the boys going to jail after our group chat gets leaked.
No, yeah, I mean,
gaming.
like we grew up in the Wild West of Xbox gaming. Like I mean, like dude, like everybody who played Call of Duty back in like the early 2000s, like 2008, 2012 era, like I mean, dude, everybody would be in jail. Like you like the stuff you said as a high school kid, you will never see the light of day again. It's like, dude, I'll murder you, I'll rape your mom. Like I mean, that horrible stuff. Horrible stuff you'd say playing in Halo lobbies, playing in Call of Duty lobbies. Like, there's no way that that would survive now. Now it's like you could have a tame conversation between Pete Hegseth and J.D. Vance, and it's like going, "These men are monsters." It's like they were using like "yes sir," "no sir," "thank you," "I don't think that's a good idea," like that stuff. Like I mean, like holy cow! If you heard what we talked about on Xbox Live, you'd be like, "Oh my goodness, did I raise these little monster children?" Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's just ridiculous, man.
Yeah, but I'll pull this up. This is Trump responding to the whole situation.
Yeah.
Your reaction to the story in The Atlantic that said that some of your top cabinet officials and aides had been discussing very sensitive material through Signal and included an Atlantic reporter for that. What is your response to that? And are you going to take
I don't
any
know
action?
anything about it. I'm not a big fan of The Atlantic. To me, it's a magazine that's going out of business. I think it's not much of a magazine, but I know nothing about it. You're saying that they had what?
They were using Signal to coordinate on sensitive materials and
Having to do with what? Having to do with what? What were they talking about?
with the Houthis.
The Houthis? You mean the attack on the Houthis? Well, it couldn't have been very effective because the attack was very effective. I can tell you that. I don't know anything about it. You're telling me about it for the first time. Anybody?
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey.
Oh, the Don, man. He handles the media so well, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, you cannot deny he just handles the media so well.
Yeah, well, and then the other part of this right here too is like, yeah, it was leaked, but it was leaked, and like if a leak would really be a problem if it compromised the mission. But this guy clearly didn't compromise the mission unless you're saying this guy from the Atlantic is such a threat. He was going to send this information to the Houthis
Yep.
and stop this bombing. Like, you all need to take cover. Trump's coming to get you.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. It's like, even in the conversation, they're going, how do we get the American public to care about the Houthis? You know, it's like, who gives, like, literally just go, they're Muslim terrorists. You know, it's like, that's all you got to say. And then we're like, all right, we're on board. Get rid of them, you know? Like, that's the thing. Like, they were talking about how to best market the Houthi problem to the American people. It's like, I'll tell you how. You just say, they're Islamic jihadist-style terrorists. Boom. I mean, so that's what's so crazy. And again, Trump handled this well. Again, especially guys who are around my age, like the guys that I know in my, fraternity brothers group and friends groups who are like freaking out about this, is like going, hey bro, like, you've texted other dudes before, right? It's like, yeah. Does the stuff that they were talking about, does that seem like a casual conversation between two guys who probably are really relatively well acquainted and probably buddies? No, it doesn't. you know.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that's what's so dumb about this entire thing. And again, guys, let me tell you this: Signal and all these apps that they're talking, like these encrypted security guys, we use Signal in the military. Like, I mean, like it's just like a texting group thing. Like, it's allegedly an encrypted texting group thing. But I mean, if I'm able to have it on my phone, like, it's just an app that you can download in the App Store. It's not like it's like this special security clearance thing. Anybody can use Signal. You, average Joe civilian, like, I could create a Signal group between me and my mom and dad. And like, it would be encrypted, and we could have encrypted conversations. It is stupid. It's just a text chat group. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm. But here's another one I just saw from the one that Pete had said. It's like, oopsie whoopsie, Pete. That's a big heart.
Is that a heart?
Yeah, it's just a big heart. It says Donald Trump, and he's looking, he's like,
Oopsie whoopsie, love Pete. Oh my
Love that.
gosh.
And there's this one, Pete Hegseth, as soon as he saw the purporter in the group chat, I threw it on the ground.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
Dude, classic Sandberg right there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
So good. But yeah, I mean, again, it's just, again, this is one of those mountain out of a molehill things. And again, you should, like what we were talking about yesterday, entertain all possibilities. You know, like what, we were talking about the JFK assassination, like, entertain possibilities. Could this have just been a oopsie doopsie by Pete Hegseth and J.D. Vance? Sure. Or could this be them, again, trying to make J.D. Vance look as good as possible for his future run for president? Or could this be them messing with journalists and trying to find more leaks in the journal, in journalist groups? So I don't know. I don't have the answers. I'm not going to say that I for sure know the answer. I'm just saying the conversation just seemed way too scripted for its own, for it to seem like a natural conversation. It doesn't flow the way dudes would talk to each other. And again, that's just my opinion. You can take or leave it. You can be like, no, this is obviously two idiots who have no. This is just indicative of this Trump White House. They're just idiots. They don't know what they're doing. And again, that would be the most uncharitable take on this. So, I mean, do you have any more input on this, Chad? Or, I mean, is that...
I mean, not particularly. This is, if this is, if this was a whole thing where, like, they put this guy in here on accident, they said, yeah, it's quite the oopsie, but, not groundbreaking because, like, it didn't have an effect on the mission. Unless, like you're saying, again, like what I said, that guy was going to leak this information to the Houthis.
Yep.
And be like, hey, President Donald Trump's coming for you. Which would say that guy is a person who is willing to, share information to help our enemies.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot like what General Milley back in the day saying, it's like, oh, don't worry, whoever my Chinese contact is, if President Trump decides to make any moves on China, you'll be the first to know. Mm-hmm. It's like that is straight up like, treason right there. So, and again, it's like the whole marketing thing about the Houthis, it's like, well, like, we're talking about how to best market the Houthi problem to the American public. All right, like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever, like...
In order to make Trump look bad, we have to somehow make Houthi terrorists look good.
Yeah.
That is a conversation that the media is having to try to spin this as an anti-Trump thing.
Yeah. Again, it doesn't matter. It's like, again, Trump's, it's like, if Trump came out and said, air is the best thing for you, the media is going to come out and go, don't breathe air. Air's dirty and gross. Mm-hmm. In fact, hold your breath until you're not alive anymore.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I mean, I have a feeling like, because this has been a big talk, like, because how formal these conversations are in this Signal group, it's suspicious. It's suspicious. It could be them trying to, make these media people look silly. I mean, how it's just super odd that this person who just happens to be the CEO for the Atlantic gets added into this chat. It's just highly, highly suspicious unless somebody was doing it on purpose, and maybe that's what they're trying to find leaks.
Yeah, I mean, whoever added him to that group, they're probably that person. It will like when you put somebody in a Signal app, it either tells you who created the group, or if somebody added you to the group, it'll tell you what person added that person to the group. So this could be a way of Trump and the Trump administration hunting down the leaks inside the White House. So again, for those of you who don't know how Signal works, that's how it works. Like, it's like when I got added into a leadership group in my Signal app, because I'm the XO of my company, it told me which higher officer added me to that group. So that's how it would be inside this Signal group that this CEO of the Atlantic got added in. So it's like, oh, J.D. Vance added you. It's like, oops, that's on J.D. So funny they haven't released the name of the person who added. I mean, was that even in the article?
It might have been, but you have to. I'm on my wrong email account.
Yeah.
To read the whole thing because you have to be subscribed.
Yeah,
to read
the Atlantic to read it. Yeah, that makes sense. This is where Edgar would have come and used. Like, Edgar, we need your access to your Atlantic account because
I have one, but like it's on my personal one, not on the work one here, which I need to change.
Yeah, but yeah, was there anything else? Did you have any other memes or videos?
No, that was it. I showed all that. It's just the one that you sent me, or I should say, Kay sent us about George Floyd.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So how we'll end the show today, but that's really about all we've got. Is this just? I mean, maybe both things could be true. Maybe both things are wrong. And maybe it's somewhere in the middle. I mean, could this be a big oopsie doopsie by Trump, J.D. Vance, and Pete Hegseth? Sure. Or could this be them still finding a way to get rid of the moles in the White House? Mm-hmm. Get rid of the
or Trump's master plan of embarrassing the mainstream media in the long run.
So what do you? I mean, again, give us your opinion in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Tell us. It's like, hey, are we wrong? Are we just Trump? We're just carrying Trump's water for him. Is that what we're doing? Is that who we are? Or is this a mistake by the Trump administration? Is this something they did and this is an oopsie doopsie on their part? Or is this Trump again playing 5D chess against the media and his enemies inside the federal government?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't have the answers. I'm not 100% sure. It's just sus. Yeah. Very suspicious.
Very
I would
sus.
say. Yeah. So, other than there's an imposter among you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about all I've got for you today. This is the Twins with Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. That is all we've got for you today. God bless you.
See you later, everybody.
جورج فلويد الذي حسب الكثير من وسائل الإعلام قد عاد للحياة وهو يقاتل مع القوات الروسية في كورسك. نشاهد كيف أن جورج فلويد المزعوم وهو يقاتل مع القوات الروسية في كورسك، ودرجة الشبه بينه وبين جورج فلويد صورته الحقيقية. الكثيرون تحدثوا على أنه عميل روسي قد ساهم في زعزعة الأوضاع في أمريكا، والآن هو عاد إلى روسيا ويقاتل هناك. جورج فلويد الذي حسب الكثير من وسائل الإعلام قد عاد للحياة وهو يقاتل مع القوات الروسية في كورسك. نشاهد كيف أن جورج فلويد